My name is Lucien. I was 17 when I traded a roof of straw for a coat of red. Thinking war would make me a man. I left with a dream, a rifle, and my best friend Henry by my side. Only one of us came back. This is not a story of glory. It's a memory, one I've carried like a wound no medal can hide. If you have time, our lines tell you how the boy I was died, and the man I became was never really born. Henry and I had nothing bare feet, a straw roof, and a dream bigger than the fields that surrounded our nameless village, the south of France. I was born to a cobbler and a laundress. Henry, my neighbor and best friend, was born into poverty just like me. We grew up in the mud, chasing chickens and clouds, watching soldiers in red cloaks march past like gods. We didn't have books, only stories passed by word-of-mouth, legends about honor, glory, and men who came back from war with medals on their chests and land in their names. We dreamed, we climbed roofs and watched the stars. Henry once said, "Do you think wearing a uniform can really change your life?" I said yes, though I didn't know. News of Napoleon's campaigns spread like fire. Men were promised land, money, titles if they survived. That was the price. And to two boys who owned nothing, it felt like a fair bargain. One morning, we left. Henry left a letter for his mother. I didn't leave anything. I wasn't sure there'd be someone left to read it. Training camp outside Lyon was mud, shouting, and human smell. We had our heads shaved, were handed oversized uniforms, and boots that hurt more than hunger. Henry smiled. "We look like chickens in peacock feathers," he joked. He always found something to laugh about. Days blurred into drills, bruises, blisters. Every morning we were lined up, barked at about duty, honor, the glory of France. Every night, Henry told stories under a shared blanket. He carved drawings into scraps of wood of me on a horse, him beside me with a flag. One day, during live fire practice, a boy was shot by accident. Blood burst from his stomach like broken wine. No screams, only shock. It was the first time I smelled fresh blood. Henry gripped my shoulder. "You'll get used to it," he whispered. I never did. Before we deployed, we made a pact. If one of us dies, the other has to live enough for both. We marched east into Russia, the 5th Infantry Regiment, over mountains that looked like frozen beasts. Crossing the Alps nearly killed us. Ice like stone, wind like razors. Men slipped and died. We couldn't stop. The dead were left under jackets, forgotten before sunset. We starved. Henry gave me half his bread. "Eat, you're thinner than my shadow," he said. Lips cracked with cold. At night, we huddled under snow. Henry shared his coat with me. I refused. He replied, "My heart's warmer than yours." Once, a new officer arrived from Paris, pristine horse, clean cloak. He slept in a heated tent with wine while we froze outside. That's when I started to see the truth. Men like him wrote history. Men like us just filled its pages with blood. Henry still told stories, still laughed. He kept the portrait of me, folded tight in his coat. "You have to live to keep it safe," he said. I nodded, every time. But something inside me was already going quiet. We reached Leipzig in autumn. The trees had given up their leaves, like even nature was tired of man. We heard rumors this would be big. Henry sharpened his broken blade, gave me a piece of hard cheese. "If I die, eat something better than this in my name." Morning came. Cannons roared, ground shook, smoke, screams, steel on steel. We fought like beasts, crawling, slipping, stabbing. No glory, no songs. Henry fought beside me. I don't remember who I killed. I remember mud, blood, hands shaking. As we were retreating, a shell screamed. Henry pushed me hard. I hit the ground, turned. Henry was down, hole in his chest, blood blooming like a rose. I held him, screamed his name. He looked at me, lips trembling. "I don't feel cold anymore. Lucien." He died before I could say anything but his name. Over and over. I couldn't take his body. Officers screamed at me. I laid him down, covered his face with my scarf, tucked his drawing into his chest. "Wait for me to tell our story," I said and ran. Like a coward, I came back like a ghost. People said I survived. But I left the best parts of me behind, in a muddy field with no name. Napoleon had lost. We were scattered, forgotten. I walked a month to return home, one arm bandaged, my soul missing. My village was still there, but everything was gone. My parents had died. Cholera, they said. Our house burned down by soldiers needing firewood. I stood on the ashes of my bed. No one asked, "Lucien, you're back." No one knew Henri had died. I didn't have the strength to tell them. I worked at a forge, hit steel by day, slept in the back room by night. No friends, no drink, just the silence. I kept Henri's drawing, faded, smoke-stained. I visited a soldier's graveyard once a year, laid a white magnolia, his favorite flower, on any unnamed stone. I hoped one of them was his. I'm old now. Every joint aches. I live alone in a wooden hut near the woods. Sometimes local boys visit. They say, "He served under Napoleon." They ask, "Did you kill? Do you have medals? Did you meet the emperor?" I smile, say little. One boy asked, "Was being a soldier fun?" I looked at him, thin like Henri, bright eyes like Henri. I said, "It's fun. Until you bury your best friend with your own scarf. Until someone dies calling your name. Until you come back and there's nothing left to return to." He didn't ask again. That night, I opened the old drawer, took out my last medal, tossed it into the fire. Flames swallowed it whole. I stepped outside, let the wind carry the smoke. Maybe Henri's name was in it. "You believed I'd survive," I whispered. "I did, but if I could trade, Henri, I'd choose you to live instead, because only you knew how to live."